Hello and welcome back to Rimworld. I have a problem, and that problem is mods. Look, I tried, okay? I tried real hard. I tried to let them go. I tried to cut it down. And I have. This is actually... look, I did some tests. I tried to, make it so that even when we're getting up to the bigger raids, my computer won't cry and I won't cry and we can do more than watch a slideshow, because I really don't enjoy that as an experience. And it's froze. I have tested it, and I think even with around 100 pawns on the map, we should still get around 250 TPS. I didn't try it while I was recording, so maybe it'll be a bit lower, but we'll see. So, welcome back, and thank you all for your feedback. Thank you for the people who commented. The overwhelming opinion was, let's keep the Rimworld of Magic, keep Winston, keep trying, never give up, never surrender. So, I'm not giving up, I'm not surrendering. I am making things easier for me because, okay, so I'm going to go into a nerd ramble here for a little while. I'll put a time on the screen you can skip ahead to if you don't want to listen to this, and that'll just take you right to the gameplay. But before that, there is a couple of things I want to go over, because I'm hoping someone has some insight into this, because I am well and truly lost. So, after my last failure, which, as a reminder, was on wave 14, yes, we got a double trouble modifier, but it was 180 something pirates, which got compressed down to 100. Now, where is it? Here. So, this is at 1, which is the lowest it can go, and that's what I'm going to be doing. And I've also put the max threat points down to 10,000. The reason is 10,000 is vanilla maximum raid points, and this equates to about 100 pirates in a raid, 250 tribals, a little bit here and there depending on their equipment and whatever, but that's around the level that it gets up to. So, if we bear in mind that our last raid on raid 14 was roughly, I think it was like 86 people doubled, something like that, maybe 80, somewhere around there, of pirates, we assume that we got up to about 8,000 raid points. That's insane, bearing in mind that the default time between waves is 1.2 days. Or maybe even 1 day? 1 or 1.2. So we wouldn't even be like half a Rimworld a year in, or round about half a year, we'd be hitting that maximum value. And I'm not sure why that is. I went and watched a couple of other people playing with Winston waves. There isn't a ton out there on YouTube, unfortunately. But everyone I watched was getting like 20 people on raid 15. And I know I bumped up my multiplier like by 0.1, 0.2. But there's no way I should have been getting as many as I did. And I've been trying to look into why, like I've been playing with, is it calculated off the max threat point use? Like, because that was higher, was that affecting it? Is this just off a little? And honestly, I don't know. I couldn't find the answer. So for now, I'm actually going to drop this to 4. We're going to have 5 days before the first waves, and then we're going to get one every 4 waves. And I'm putting it down to 1. So, again, this is as easy as it can be, and I'm doing this for a couple of reasons. One is I want to see what 100%, what the default is. I just want to see how much it increases, and if it's too slow, I can speed it up. And if we get to this 10,000 point cap and we're managing, then I'll bump that up too. I haven't excluded any factions. This is vanilla expanded mechanoids. And I turned off the ship arrival because I didn't know what that did. And I don't really understand how vanilla mechanoids works. I turned off, or I don't remember, maybe I turned off the total war mechanic. But essentially this is why we were getting those 0 raids last time. Or at least that's what me and one other person on Reddit who is having the same problem think. Because the way vanilla expanded mechanoids usually works is they have ships that land, which improves the power and the raid size of the mechanoids that it adds. And if there are no ships, then they can't spawn. So it tries to generate a raid with them, but it can't, so then it reverts to a different kind of raid when they appear. That's a little strange. We'll keep an eye on it. If we see new mechanoids appearing, then we're probably fine. If they don't, then we'll treat it as just a mystery raid. That's fine. And double trouble is a problem. Not just because of the amount of pawns it sends at you, but because we have the compacted raid mod. So it's fine early on, right? Like 5 people double to 10 is annoying, but is manageable. But say we're getting along and we get like a 40-person raid. Oh, well, not even that. Say we're getting up to the cap, and I've set the cap to 75 pawns this time. So that plus I'm assuming around 20 colonists, probably max, will be close to 100 total on the map. Double trouble doubles whatever was coming. So say it was meant to be 100, that gets doubled to 200, which then gets compressed down. Those 75 that turn up are gonna have insane bonuses, like just insane, and I don't know if we'll be able to handle that. So what I'm thinking is we're actually going to keep this on for now, and then once we start getting higher up, I might turn it off. But we'll see. We'll see. Basically what I'm saying is I'm not setting this and forgetting it. We're going to adjust it as we go on. My intention isn't to make it easier at any point. It's just to stop the game breaking down beyond, because it's fun to play, it's fun to try, it's fun to lose. It's not fun to just get obliterated and not feel like there was anything I could do about it. That's less entertaining. Okay, so with that out of the way, we're at about 80 mods, I think, and a lot of them are just quality of life stuff. Like we have Rocket Man, we have Runtime GC. I kept Quarry in here because we need a way to get Jade. We don't have the growable plants anymore. I'm going to make a new list for this, which will be in the description, hopefully, by the time this video goes up. So if you want to look at this and play with it yourself, that'll be there. I have the color-coded mood bar. It's different from the one I was using before. But I actually realized I don't need it because another mod, although I don't remember. No, sorry. You do need this one. We also have Show Draftee's weapons, which you don't need because this can actually do that, but I'd already installed it. So yeah, there's a couple of smaller things that I've added in, such as like convert then recruit. Again, mostly quality of life. Yeah, that's about it, I think. Rim of Madness, I moved it says 0, but it's actually around 0.4, 0.5. So 40 to 50% as much, so we shouldn't get as crazy an amount of bones. And I've also removed semi-random research, which is painful. I don't really remember the last time I didn't play with it, but I think rushing for research is actually going to be very important. Okay, so that's all my rambling out of the way. Let's get into our colony. So I'm going to load up our scenario. It's very similar. The only thing I've changed is our starting pawns are going to be magically gifted, but people who are downed are only going to have a or people who spawn in, are only going to have a 50-50 chance of being magically gifted and a 30% chance of physically adept. We still have all the magic research and battery research, and then just our regular stuff. I haven't changed any of this. So we're going to go to Winston Waves. I'm going to put it on... What am I going to put it on? Well, reload anytime, first of all. And then... strive to survive, sure. This is all fine. I've been enjoying this at like 30. This one too. That's just personal preference. Adaption. Now, I assume that Winston doesn't care about adaption rate. Basically what this does is it, if things are going badly, the storyteller takes it easier on you, and if they're going well, it can be harder on you. But yeah, I don't think that matters for Winston. Okay, what seed should we use? What is, like, just please help me, Winston. How many characters can you use for a seed? I have a family. Okay, we'll try it. Seems a little weird. I'm gonna add in the pirates. I'm gonna take out these guys because they make me a little... Well, actually, we can get arcane traders, but if we take these out, I don't know if arcane traders can only be from this faction. Okay, let's leave them in. Maybe, can we take out the mech hive? We can. If I take that out, maybe we won't get the 0 raids? That kind of makes sense. We can throw more... Well, do we want more tribes? That increases the chance tribals turn up. No, let's just keep that. Okay, generate. So the other thing I noticed watching other people play was that they either... made a mountain base or used one of the vanilla expanded vaults from the... I don't know, the mod with the old guys, the superheroes. Whatever that one's called, Ancients? Yeah, that would make sense. So, with that in mind, I want... First of all, I want a slightly bigger map. And I would like a mountain base. Now I have to make a very... This is a very embarrassing confession for a Rimworld player. I've never really made a proper mountain base. Which is insane because they're incredibly powerful in Rimworld. And so this could potentially be a learning experience. Now, temperate forest is nice. We get a little bit more growing time, and I don't want caves. Caves would probably be bad. Also, if I could only have 2 stone for some reason, I like that a lot more. That's caves. Okay, limestone and granite. Perfect. I like the way limestone looks, and granite is obviously one of the best for building defenses with. Okay. Animals can graze. 40 out of 60. Yeah, that sounds pretty perfect. We have the Empire there. Do we have anyone we could trade with? I mean, no. We could... Okay, that's fine. Don't worry about it. We'll go with the one I just found. Okay. I just realized I was going to make an Ideoligion, and I completely forgot. So I'm going to make an Ideoligion, and then I'll tell you what it is. Okay, so I've put together an Ideoligion here, and I've tried to skew it to make things easier for us. I haven't min-maxed it as much as we could have, I think you could make this a lot easier by taking like cannibal. I think there's one called like scrapper, which means that you don't care about tainted clothing and tattered clothing, and you can junk doesn't upset them. Like they can have a dirty living area and they like that. So there's definitely ways that you could min-max this further, but this is kind of as far as I wanted to push it. We have supremacist. That means that we're okay with ethical workers, but we're not really going to be doing that. Mostly I wanted it because it gives us the shooting specialist and the melee specialist, which I haven't really had a chance to use, but I know they can be very useful. Cannibal again, obviously it makes us okay with eating and cutting up people, which I don't want to go as hard on, but it's nice to have it as an option. I'm taking tunneler because we're intending to make a mountain base, and it actually gives us high mining yield, which will be helpful for getting unrefined magicite out of digging, I assume, and if not, out of the quarry. It also lets us eat insect meat and fungus, so that's fine. It gives us stone cutting, which I think we already had anyway, but yeah, that's fine. There's no downside to this, really. And then violent conversion, it gives us the intense bigotry, which we could have got anyway, but I like having this. It's good for when you get those pawns, like an Iron Willed pawn or something, where you want them, but it's almost never worth the conversion time. This we can just flip a coin and either we get them or we don't, and I'm okay with that. So cannibalism, only preferred. Like I said, we're not going super hard on it, so they like it, but they're not going to be too upset if we don't do it very often. Intense bigotry, I like it just because I like having my colonists all have the same Ideoligion. Mining yield high, obviously, and then proselytizing forceful, which is just a side effect of the violent conversion, and it makes us spread our Ideoligion better, so that's fine. Research, I bumped up to fast. I could have gone up to very fast, but that felt a little much. Execution is fine if they're guilty. Corpses don't care. That's going to be very nice because there are going to be corpses just everywhere. We could... Okay, so... Still don't like insect meat. I think I'm fine with that. We can make it good, but that's fine. Nutrient paste is bad, whatever. Yeah, all of this, tainted and tattered, like we could even put it to don't care. I'm not going to do that. I like having the difficulty of making our own stuff. Orange is acceptable. Physical love is free, just so that when they become lovers, if you don't have this, they won't share a bed until they're married. What I did find out is you can put both their beds in the same room, so they have separate beds, but it'll still be a bedroom. It won't be a barracks. I thought that was quite interesting. But this just means that they'll share a bed, so that's fine. And yeah, that's about it. Marriage names, I like putting that to random. So we have our Awoken Dictator is our leader. We have the Stone... Have these have changed. This is not what I made them. That's a little strange. Okay, sorry about that. So we have the head himcho or hercho, depending upon male or female. We have the Bone Turner as our moral guide, and then we have a mining specialist, the Cave Rat, and we have a shooting specialist, the Shot Slinger. Those are going to be our roles. And then our rituals, I changed these so that we can do them anytime. I find that's better than, doing it on a certain date, and they're going to give us rewards. The funeral is just the funeral. We get a mood bonus if it goes well. We have our symbol burning, which is burning the effigy of Winston, and that's going to revitalize our mages, give them a bit more mana, or give them back mana. Send us another is a prisoner sacrifice, and there's a chance of a random recruit if it goes well. So that's us sending off one soul to Winston and hoping he sends us another. And then we have our Hopium Sky Lantern Festival, which will give us a random buff, again, if it goes well. And then these I didn't really change. I don't like that one, though. Carving of Force, Fierce Model, sure. Image of Blood, and then the Winston effigy, which we can burn. Our relics, I wanted to make them something interesting, so if we do somehow have time and people enough to go and get them, we're rewarded for it. So we have a rifle and a wand and then some sunglasses, because who doesn't want to look cool? All right, that's it. I'm going to save this in case I need it in the future. And we're called Winston's Bane because we are Winston's Bane. Okay, let me look through all these people and see what we can get. Okay, so we've got our 3, and I've gone for a slightly different approach this time. So we have Billy the Slaughterer, who, has decent shooting and melee and will get better because of the passions. Okay, construction to start out. Incredible animals with the double passion and an amazing medical skill. Traits aren't perfect. Sluggish kind of sucks, and constantly bemused also kind of sucks, and teetotaler is just annoying, but I think it's going to be fine. The animals I don't have a plan for, but we definitely could use, and then just a decent fighter. Construction is really important early on. Next we have Paul, a prosthetic surgeon. Paul Paulson, by the way, who incredible at crafting, an incredible social pawn. He has both diplomat and tycoon. Valiant, cold intolerant, just no real downsides. Crafting that's incredible. Backup medical, good intelligence. He's going to be really useful. And then we have Jet, the military officer. Really good at shooting, just incredible construction and mining. Again, a good backup crafter, decent intellectual. Another diplomat, obviously won't be using them for that. Kleptomaniac, I've never really had it do anything, but I guess it could be bad. Groundbreaker, just even more mining and constructing. And then Valiant as well. So really solid for starting out. We don't really have plants and cooking. Our best cooking is 3 and plants is 4. That's not ideal, but I feel like those are skills that are real easy to find in other people. To start out, we can just plant a big field of rice and call it a day. I do want to eventually get into, Devil's Strand and cotton and whatever else, but we don't need it immediately. All right, and we're in. Let's have a look at our map here. Okay. Nice big mountain area, an ancient danger right there. As you can see, I have I don't remember the exact name of this mod, colorblind minerals, something like that. Basically just changes the color on the minerals to make them a lot more obvious, like this compacted machinery. I don't know, like I don't think it looks like incredible, but I do like being able to see these. Like, look, for example, right there, jade. What do we need? Jade. Where is it? Right there. Thank you. That's why this mod is here. Yeah, I don't know. I like it. I prefer having it over not. Okay, so before we even start, let's do now. This is a little bit of an exploit. But if you have the quarry mod, yeah, you can see in mountains, like if there's any gaps or an ancient danger, for example. So there's another ancient danger there. And that's it, just the 2. Okay, and if we look for some fertile soil, there's a little bit up here, but This is kind of the only really useful patch, I would say. Okay, that's not great. And then terrain affordance, obviously this isn't really buildable. That's a little frustrating because what I really would have wanted is like a nice big patch here. And then we could have just walled, build our base into the mountain. Now, obviously, we are going to be building our base into the mountain. Let me just make sure I'm getting set up here. Yeah, I'm just having... Here was... when I was planning this, here's a thought. Are infestations raids? Because if they are, then we would know they're coming, right? Because the only raids we're getting is here. But if they're a separate event to raids, which I think they might be, then we could still get big infestations between raids, which would be a little painful. Yeah, so the question is... See, in my mind, there's kind of two options. Either we start doing a like mini temporary base here and get as much value out of this fertile soil as we can while we're here, or we just disregard it completely and, I don't know, probably start building here. It's kind of annoying. I think the first time we get a trader or something, we'll crack this open, and I don't know, this is such a good area. Oh, which reminds me, actually, let's see how many steam geysers do we have, and where are they? No, didn't like that. 7. One down here, one right there, another one here, one here, one here, one here. Is that it? I think so, right? Yeah, and then one down here. So I mean, definitely taking this one and then maybe expanding to either one of these at some point would be feasible. We're landing right here. I mean, it's just too good not to set up here, right? I mean, what if even... Now, here's an idea. We set up right here as our initial, you know, base of operations. And then we can dig this way. We can eventually open this and dig this way and start our mountain base proper. I think that's a good idea. Okay, so I'm going to run on ahead, get set up. I'm sure you know what the first 30 minutes of Rimworld looks like at this point, especially, you know, all this. Yeah, I'm gonna skip over a lot of the early raids because I don't think we really need to see them. Yeah, I'll catch up with you when I have things, you know, chugging along. Winston is a very mean man. He wants me to put down these 3 cute baby Yorkshire Terriers. And, I mean, I'm gonna, but I'm not happy about it. Let me catch you up. This is what our base is looking like. As you can see, we're almost up to wave 4. So I went on a bit further than I meant to be honest. As you can see, we've already nearly burned down once. So what happened was I had a arcane artifact trader come in and they were hanging out right here. So I cracked open this and it had insects in it. And a couple of them had those flame ring artifacts. And so just started launching fireballs everywhere and burnt down pretty much our entire crop. Almost burnt down our base, but I managed to save it. And yeah, that's about where we're up to. We have some prisoners that we're working on, and we also got Genji was a reward from one of our waves. They are, I don't know what it is. All of these people are, if not incredible, just really solid options. So Genji is physically adept. They're iron-willed, they're tough, they're nimble, they have 12 melee and a double passion, along with double passion in cooking, and also really good at social, with a bit of medical background as well. That's crazy. They're incapable of dumb labor, which I would prefer if they could do it, but this is S tier right here. Just, yeah, so good. Then in prison, we have Marilyn, who melee, artistic, intellectual, mining and intellectual are going to be important for us. They're magically gifted, they're an insomniac, so they'll work pretty much all the time, but a lot slower. Chemical fascination, they're probably the weakest one here, but they're only 23, and they were already our Ideoligion, so I figured we might as well. We have Griffin Dillon, again, really good melee, double passion. Stiff is a little bit of a negative, but they're also a brawler and a martial artist, so it probably cancels out. Neat. Mountain lover, just no negatives really here apart from the stiff. Good construction, good cooking, animals. Just really nice to have around. And then finally, Lissa Archer. They had 20 crafting when they showed up. They were a raider. They had 20 double passion crafting. And also some artistic and intellectual, and they don't mind shooting. They're inefficient and clumsy and a rebel. But I can't say no to 20 crafting. Also they're brave, which is nice. Rebel is annoying. Inefficient and clumsy are meh. Not the worst, not the best. Well, definitely not the best, but definitely could be worse. And how do you say no to a 20 crafting? And yeah, we're working on converting and recruiting. Still gonna take a little while, though. We do have some decent social, so hopefully not too long. Now on to our original colonists. We have Paul Paulson, who is a warlock, because apparently we're not allowed to not have a warlock in a colony. I don't think I've ever started one without one. So we know how these work. I would like to recruit someone, preferably who isn't gifted, to be his soul bond, just because the bonuses are quite nice, but I don't want to, diminish someone else who's good. We have Jet, who's become a druid, so we can actually have a druid that can fight now, but obviously regenerate, cure disease, and regrowth are really strong healing powers. So we'll probably be going into those a little, but not a ton, because we actually got a priest. And they're really good. Their heal is even better than the druid or the regular heal. Purify lets them get rid of scars and like chronic illnesses, as well as addictions. So yeah, just insane. Healing circle heals AoE, but it's not as powerful, but could still definitely serve, especially when we get to the higher raids and maybe combat's more drawn out. That could be very helpful. And then bestow might makes melee pawns better, so that could definitely be something we use when we get someone set up. I mean, probably Genji as a, tank frontline fighter. And then obviously Resurrection, which does take a lot out of them and the person they bring back, and there's a chance that the person they bring back has detrimental conditions, but it's worth it to bring back someone valuable. No contest, so we definitely need to get that. And then in terms of the base, this is going to be our rec room and dining room. We have a kitchen and a freezer. This is going to be our workroom. We have our stockpile right here. This was obviously the Ancient Danger. We've just kind of shoved our research in here and the batteries, and we have a little stone cutting table because I need some stone. We've walled this off completely, so now if anyone spawns in, even down here, they can walk up and all the way around, and then we're going to have our kill box here. And as you can see, I've written kill. If it starts to go badly, I'll add the ME on the end there. I'm clearing this out. This is going to be our Ideoligion room because we need our moral guide. This is a hospital. This is where I was thinking of putting our prison. I wasn't sure if I was going to do it in the Ancient Danger or not. I kind of like this as the research, and I also might split it here and have like a couple of bedrooms here. So I might move the prison like here or something. I want it closer to the kill box, but it'll probably be fine if we put it over here. And then, so this is our temporary. This is step 1 of the base. And I want to start digging in here to make something more permanent and bigger. But I want to have the freedom to do that without worrying about this. Like, I don't want them upset that we don't have a rec room while we're busy digging out, I don't know, a 20 by 10 rec room, right? So this is what we're going with for the moment. Research, I've queued up solar panels, just because I don't want to be using wood-fired generators as much as possible. Devil Strand, because I want to be able to plant it preferably by the start of next spring, so we can hopefully get a harvest. And that's going to be really important. 1 for armor and 2 for the scripts and the books that we use to teach people magic skills. Then plate armor is just on the way to flag armor. I want to get us, blacked up as soon as possible. And then soup cooking is a little strange, but I don't want to spend a bunch of our labor and time on cooking just regular meals. And I've done the soup kitchen idea before, and I think it's really effective. So basically, we're just going to set them up to make the wherever it is. It probably won't be there till we research it, but you make uncooked soups, and so it's just 1 bill. You make that, and we'll set it to, I don't know, always have 3 or 4 or whatever we want. And then you have these little stations that you can line up, and you tell them to cook the soup, and the soup cooks for 3 days, and they take it off, and you get a bunch of meals out of it, which are slightly more nutrition efficient than regular meals, I'm pretty sure. Or you get more meals per nutrition you put in. So it goes a little further. The downside is you have to wait for it to stew, but it takes less time for people to work on it. So that's the plan for that. And then obviously we need microelectronics, fabrication probably, because we're going to need a lot of components. And yeah, this is about where we're at. We do have a carbine from our last raid, so I'm probably going to get Jet to equip that. Billy is now incapable of violence because they're a priest. And hold on a second. 8 non-fungus plant cooked. Huh. I did not read that part of the tunneler meme, which is what I assume is... Oh, that's the wrong one. Doing that? Oh, fungus preferred. Oh, whoops. Probably should have changed that. Okay, so that's not actually that bad. It's not ideal, but they also prefer cannibalism. So either human meat or fungus is what they're after. And it's only a -3. So that's fine. And then eventually we'll grow fungus in the mountains, and we'll cut up our enemies to eat them. And that'll be perfect. So that'll just be the dandiest. Yeah, so I guess we have another 3 days before the next wave. It's wave 4. I don't know why I thought it was wave 5. We're still only on 2 people. I'm going to give it till about wave 10, maybe wave 15, just to see how the curve is. And if it's too low, I'll tweak the settings again a little bit. We have a drought. Winston has really been throwing events. There was an update to the Storyteller. I've skimmed over it. I wasn't really paying attention. I don't think they updated how the events are generated, but I just feel like I've been having more than I did previously. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to shoot these dogs, and then we'll see what happens next. Well, I don't know about you two, but I sure feel good about myself. Feel powerful. Okay, so Paul's going to be our bone turner, our moral leader. He's our most social person at the moment. And again, diplomat, tycoon, warlock. Yeah, just makes sense. And that just gives a little mood boost to everyone as well. Our next raid's about to come in, which is just in time because we are getting a little hungry. Well, not hungry, but we're getting low on food, so a couple of bodies will be nice. I'm just kind of worried that they're also going to be amazing and I'm going to want to recruit them. Green Brambles Settlement. Pandemonium? And S. Now, poor hygiene is so workaholic and restless. Nice shooting, but ultimately I think you're just going to be a tasty snack. LMG. Okay, and another pistol. Temperature intolerant, athletic, heat inclined, kind. Oh. Someone who's athletic? So with the extra speed, kind, intellectual, crafting, mining, and could just be really good. As we really need a cleaning person. They are magically gifted. Okay, well, look. If you survive, we'll think about it. But we're not going out of our way to make you survive. So let's grab everyone. Luckily, they're right here, so we can just line up here. Except Billy. Billy, stand in this doorway. And you can cast heal if anyone gets shredded, which the very first raid we had almost demolished us. The heals actually saved us a lot. I don't know why they were so accurate. Well, they did have good quality guns, but we have the good quality guns now. So hopefully we outrange them, at least a little. We should at least equal. Okay. Warlock. Begin warlocking. Give me this. Proximity and radius. Direct damage, yes. Direct damage is what I'm here for. And then I haven't tried the poison yet. I kind of wanted to wait and put points into the healing if we needed it. And Genji can always just rush them and lock them in melee. That's what I've been doing before. It was just like hiding around a corner, and then as they came up, just getting Genji to run out and engage them. Okay, who's the more dangerous one? Well, the one with the LMG, obviously. So let's just send that right in. Oof. Okay, 2 good shots. Did a lot of pain, but not much else, to be honest. Oh, and we're taking heavy damage. Yeah, there went the heal. What if we just run at them? I feel like only a little more pain is needed to bring them down. You did get hit. Wow, you're getting... Okay, yeah. Just get in there. Your heal is down. You have a smoke. I don't know where we got the smoke pop from. It's going well, though. I think. Yeah, we got them down. Pandemonium, come here. I want your sweet, supple flesh. Archotech artifacts. Oh, that could be really good. But also not very relevant. And 3 random weapons. They're both gambles. I mean, let's take the artifacts. Oh, nice. Okay, Pandemonium. How generous am I feeling? We'd have to convert them. We know we're going to get more people. Just finish them off. We will take your gun. We will take your gun. Actually, before we finish them off, what are they wearing? Yes, they have a flak vest. Okay, strip. Strip. Finish off. Finish off. I know I've done that in a weird way, but it'll be fine. Your heel's nearly up. Should be fine. Like, that's a lot of bleeding, but we have multiple ways of dealing with that at the moment. Where are my rewards? Right here. That's... okay. Single-use artifact grows all plants nearby to maturity. Now, normally I would be mad about that. But that's 5 free harvests of Devil Strand. Or whatever else we need. I mean, I could do one now. I could replace this with corn, activate one, and then we just harvest everything. It's August. What's the growing season? 11th of September. Sure, let's do corn. And hopefully we have the skill to do that. We're not the best planters. But yeah, we'll do corn in both of these. The cotton can stay, and we'll activate one of them, and then we'll save the other 4 for Devil Strand. Yeah, see, she just healed him. Now he only is slightly bleeding. The only problem is, it does give him the arcane weakness, and the other one, the Purify, the one that gets rid of scars, it makes them really, really worn out. Okay, undraft. Good job. Good work. I mean, I guess we should make sure we're getting those in, right? Okay. Wave 5, orbital bombardment, boss wave. Sure. Still only 2 people. The bombardment could be a problem, so we want to deal with that as soon as possible. All right, we'll probably get up to this one. I'll run ahead, and then I will have to cut this off. I've played for a lot longer than I meant to, and I recorded a lot less than I meant to, so who knows how long this will be. I hope you appreciate it. The first one is always a weird episode, or the first episode of a colony, because it's exciting. There's a lot to do for me, but ultimately not much dramatic happens. But thank you for sticking with me. We got a new recruit. Lisa. And please don't eat the raw meat. Okay, we really do need some food. I didn't realize, but they can't actually plant right now because of the drought. So that's fun. Also, we got some guinea pigs. There was like 10 of these when I first spawned here. Most of them seem to have wandered off. It just sparked a memory for me, though. I used to play violin when I was in school. I wasn't very good at it, but my teacher was a very nice lady, a little strange. And she kept, and I assume bred, guinea pigs. And she loved them, and she showed us videos, and they were very cute. But her ringtone, like her message ringtone, was a recording she took of her guinea pigs getting it on. And I remember that every now and again, and I still don't know how to feel about it. But anyway, Rimworld. What was I saying we were doing? Oh, food. Yeah, right. Yeah, well, they can't do planting. Who's our cook? Why aren't they cutting up these? Oh, because I told them not to cut up the bodies, didn't I? Because I wanted to make sure... Basically, because I know we need whole corpses for some of the golem stuff. I didn't want them to just automatically cut everything up. But for right now, let's cut everything up because we have literally no food. Okay, we got solar panels. So on to Devil Strand. The raid is coming in soon, and we're just about, the drought ended and we just about finished planting all of our stuff. So let's activate one of these. Hopefully it only activates one and not all 5. Oh wow, look at the bounty. Look at that, only 90%. Not 100? Huh, okay. I assumed it would go to 100, but I guess that's fine too. Okay, now we do need to deal with this as fast as possible so the meteors don't destroy us. So I'm going to go meet them. Hopefully they spawn close. They want to besiege us. There's only 2 of them. Oh, and of course they're right in the opposite corner. Moshinto and Desiree. Just give you a quick glance. Magically gifted. No. This is incredible, but no. What is with the people turning up? They're so good. Psychically dull, body purist. Yeah, you're also a no. Blue or Iron? You're our Ideoligion. Why do people with our Ideoligion keep showing up? Okay, let's get everyone moving. This way. Ooh. What if they get hit by the meteors? I assume that can happen. Okay, we're going around this way. Yeah, just... Ooh. If one of them lands right here, sets all this on fire, I'm going to be very upset. Okay, they're setting up here. They're actually building a mortar. They have shells. They do have shells. If nothing else, I want to steal their mortar. And can they even fire the mortar? I'm not sure they can. What weapons you got? You got a revolver. You got a combat pistol. I think we can just rush them. Trying to keep an eye on the base to make sure nothing... Ooh! Paul, what happened? Okay, you're fine for now. Shadowbolt. Her. Nice. What? What? You got shot in the head? Winston, what the hell? I can't believe that happened. Like, I know... just got destroyed. Oh, with a projector... Machine has projector... Oh, wait. Was this the one with, like, 18 shooting? Oh, yeah. Okay. Alright, yeah. No, that kind of makes sense, I guess. Oh, but it sucks, though. Well, let's take out the other one. That's a bit of a blow, to be honest. Oh. Okay, I thought that was landing right on top of us. Don't get shot in the head. Okay, we're fine. Another flag fest. Rip them. Rip them down. Oh yeah, and we got I keep forgetting, we get 20 components, 5 advanced components is pretty nice. Poor weapons, probably just the components, to be honest. Okay. Well, this was just the worst. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. That could... all the positivity I was feeling has, for some reason, evaporated. I'm not sure why. I'm gonna let them have a funeral, I guess. I guess we'll throw down a sarcophagus. We have a lot of granite. Let's throw that in there. Yeah, I was so hyped up and positive. And we're still on 2 people. Still 100 points. I might have to bump that up. We'll see. I'll give it a few more raids. If it's still just 2, then yeah, I'll bump it up. But otherwise, I really have to go. Thank you for watching. We are going to go further than we have ever been before. Paul Paulson, sad as it is to lose him and his incredible social skill, it's a sacrifice, and it will not be in vain. Winston, we are coming for you, and we have vengeance in our hearts. Goodbye.